Hello everyone, I am Dr. Rogers. Welcome to Physics 201. This is a quick little walkthrough of my Canvas course as well as my syllabus. And let's go ahead and dive right in. Before I do that, I do want to say that this is the first run through with Canvas for LFCC. I did pilot a class in the spring, but if there's a bump or two, I apologize. If something doesn't seem right, shoot me an email, please. With that said, this is still under construction. There's more important things for me to, burn my time on. Let's talk about the syllabus. You can find the syllabus right here. I don't really anticipate having to update it. It's not like it's going to snow or anything like that. So let's dive right in. So we have the standard VCCS description. We're mainly going to focus on mechanics for Physics 201. At the end of the day, I want to help you to learn how to solve problems. That's what Physics 201 is really about. My office is right across from the lab. Here's a phone number, but most of the time I'm in the lab or I'm not. So the best way to get in touch with me is to shoot me an email. Course outline, you've noticed that this is an online lecture in class lab. Kind of the reason why I do that is it meets 1 day a week, and that gives you some flexibility. You can enjoy your summer a little bit. But it also is going to give you some time to get some hands-on time with you because we're going to solve some really hard problems, and I found that most people just need the face-to-face time to talk with me and solve problems. After you're done with your lab, you are more than welcome to hang out and try to solve the problems and to ask me for help. I will gladly help you solve each and every single problem that we are assigned. The textbook is Gene Coley. Money Saving Note is for pennies on the dollar. You can get by with the previous edition. When it comes to the labs, essentially we're going to cover about a lab and a half a week. If you do the math, then 16 weeks down into 10 weeks, well, that's about 1.5. So we're actually going to cover 2 labs some weeks and 1 lab other weeks. It just kind of is what it is. You don't need to buy a lab notebook or anything like that. I will give you the handouts and you fill them out, turn them in, and you're good to go. When it comes to the homework, there are 2 flavors of problems. There's easy problems and pen and paper problems or lecture problems. Easy problems, they're pretty easy. They're pretty much plug and chug type of problems. The pen and paper problems, well, they're a little bit harder. You are, again, more than welcome to ask me for help on any single problem. I will gladly check it before you turn those guys in. Don't turn in stuff late because my solutions kind of appear on Canvas and yeah, it didn't work like that. 4 tests scattered throughout the semester, and they're based on what we cover for those previous chapters. They are at the testing centers, and if you want to use a testing center other than Middletown, please let me know. There is a time limit on those. You are allowed a 305 note card, and please don't turn them in late or try to turn them in late because if they won't let you take it. Also, please do give yourself enough time to take the test at the testing center because if they close at like 5 and you show up at like 4:45, they're gonna say, well, you got 15 minutes, and you're like, that sucks. Attendance, please show up to class. Be nice to my equipment. Be nice to each other. That's what those 3 guys kind of boil down to. Whenever you take a test or stuff like that, you're saying, hey, this is me and me only. This is the breakdown of the points. Tests, there's 4 of them worth 80 points each, worth about half the grade. I will note that the 4th test is not cumulative. It only covers chapters 10 through 12. We cover so much material in 201 that having a cumulative final would suck. Labs, if you show up to labs, you're talking about 20% of your grade. And lecture problems and easy problems, I mean, that's another like 30% of your grade, which I will, again, check for you before you turn them in. Standard A, B, C, D, and apply, honors credit, and time. How much time is this class going to take? If this was easy, everyone would do it. Just because it's online lecture in class lab does not mean that it's less time. In fact, it will be more time because you don't have the face-to-face time that my face-to-face classes typically have. At least 6 hours per week outside of class. How would you divvy that up? Well, watch lectures, try to solve the problems. Maybe rewatch the lectures, take some notes, and go from there. When it comes to disabilities, if you have that form, you know what it means. I probably know what it means. Just give it to me as soon as possible, and we'll make it work. Let's take a look at the schedule. Stuff is due about every other week. That gives you, again, a little bit of flexibility. Here's the first day. It's a Tuesday. Please watch Chapter 1 before that day. Please give the easy problems and the lecture problems a whirl, and don't judge the difficulty of this class by Chapter 1. Chapter 1 is easy. We're actually going to be knocking out 2 labs that particular week. Please also watch Chapter 2, do easy problems 2, and lecture problems 2 if possible. This stuff is not due on those particular days. The way that I kind of divvied it up is we have 4 major due dates, and you can kind of see on the next day, chapters 1, 2, and 3 are due. Not that I collect notes or anything like that. Easy problems are due. Lecture problems are due. My solutions appear on Blackboard on that particular date, and I won't take them after that particular date. You can kind of see that gives you a little bit of time to digest that, even though it is very fast. For test number 1, the test number 1 is due on June 4th. We are already diving into Chapter 4 on that particular day. I highly recommend that you get Chapter 1 test done before June 4th. Just saying. We're going into Chapter 4 with that particular lab. Watch Chapter 4, easy problems 4, lecture problems 4, blah, blah, blah. You roll down right over here. The next week is 4, 5, and 6 are due. And I will put the disclaimer out there that chapters 4, 5, and 6 are some of the hardest ones that are out there. Chapters 7, 8, 9 are seen right here, test due, and 10, 11, 12, test right here. If you were to ask me, 4, 5, and 6 are some of the hardest chapters out there. Chapters 7, 8, and 9 are also hard. 1, 2, and 3, not too bad. 10, 11, 12, pretty easy. So if I were to rank the difficulty, I would say 2 or 3 would be the hardest. 1 and 4 would be slightly easier. And that's not my design, that's just the material. So let's come back to the home page of Canvas and talk about what we see right over here, course materials. If you click on this, it'll just tell you where the textbook is. Heck, I'll click on it. I will also recommend that you could, oops, I need to fix that. I would also recommend that you could also look at the Shalom's outline for physics. That will be there under course materials. You could click on learning modules, but actually there's a better way. You see chapters 1, 2, 3, and test. Well, let's go ahead and click on these guys. Chapter 1, you click on this and it's going to take you to a learning module, and you can kind of see this is what we want to talk about. And here's my voiceover PowerPoint. Chapters 1, I split it into 2 parts, as well as some worked problems. Now, if you were to click on this link right over here, it's going to give you the lecture. And these are the slides that I'm going to talk about. It's chapter 1, blah, blah, blah. And if you were to go ahead and click on this, these are the slides that you're going to see me write on. Please do take your own notes. People tend to do better when they take their own notes. If you were to click on this one, well, you're going to see some problems. And I'm going to click on the PDF first. Let's go ahead and pop this bad boy open. And you see some sig figs, you see some estimation problems. Well, if you go ahead and you click on this YouTube link, then what you're going to see is you're going to see the same exact problems that are solved by me.
Okay, let's get some practice using...
This is kind of like watching me do a problem on the board, where you can kind of see, write out the words using
some of these prefixes.
Write out the following using sig figs, blah, blah, blah.
So for A, we're going to be converting 8.69 times 10 to the fourth.
And play it again and again and again, which you couldn't do if I did it on the board. Again, please don't judge the difficulty of this class by chapter 1. You can also find this for pretty much any chapter. You can click on modules, and this is just going to be a longer way to do things, but you can kind of see chapter 1, chapter 3, 2, chapter 3, test, chapter 4, 5, 6, and then test. So you could access these chapters that way. If you clicked on chapter 2, you're going to see this pretty much the same thing. You're going to see, part 1, part 2. This one I split into 3, and then some work problems. You're going to see the slides, the problems, and then right here we have the lecture problems. And I said that there are 2 types of homeworks that are due. And let's go ahead and click on this one for chapter 2. Here are some pen and paper homework, and you go ahead and you click on this bad boy, and you're going to see some hard problems to solve. I will again gladly help you solve these problems after the lab is done. And you go ahead and see for this particular chapter I've got 9 problems, and if you were to click on this, well, it's not going to show you the answers until after the due date. My solutions will appear just right there after the due date. We can also go ahead and click on chapter 1 or 2, it really doesn't matter, 3 or 4. And we can see that the other type of homework that is assigned is going to be easy problems. The easy problems are going to be a little bit below that. I would personally recommend that the easy problems, do this before the lecture problems. The easy problems are more like plug and chug. So you click on this guy and you see 5 points. Here are the easy problems and the same type of things. These guys are due on the due date that are listed. So that's everything that is due. We can also click on grades and you kind of see everything that is due. The nice thing about Canvas is it kind of shows you, when everything is due and how much the points are. It does say 11:59, but that was just kind of because I didn't want to go in and change the times. So you can kind of see, 2 labs due, all the stuff is due on that particular day. Again, don't wait until May 28th to turn in chapters 1, 2, 3, and easy problems 1, 2, and 3. Not the best way to spend your day, especially because, boom, there's probably going to be a test due on that particular day. You can also see this guy in the syllabus, which is going to show all that stuff that is due. Let's go ahead and click on the test 1 review, or I'm going to go ahead and show you where this guy is on my little cheat sheet here. Test number 1, chapters 1 through 3. You click on this guy and you're going to see a sample test as well as my solutions. You're going to go to the testing center and you're going to see a test that's going to look very similar to this. It's not the same, but it's similar in concept. So you click on this guy and it should pop open a PDF. Actually, I'm going to pop this guy open. You go ahead and you pop this thing open, and here are my solutions to it. If you clicked on the real thing, it'd be this, the same thing without my solutions. But you see an estimation problem. You're going to see an estimation problem on the real test. Is it the same? No, it's not the same, but you're definitely going to see an estimation problem. Here you see a problem with speed being distance over time. You're going to see a problem with speed, distance, time in some way, shape, or form on the real test. You see a vector problem, same thing. You see an acceleration problem, and so on and so forth. So my recommendation to you is before the real test, I would print this thing out and give it a go, and see how comfortable you are with these things. With all that said, I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. Thank you very much, and have a good day.